Coffee brewing as the sun peeks through the haze. Birds are chirping, serenading morning's praise. The front porch creaks as dreams fade away. America's awakened to a brand new day. Old vinyl spinning a sweet old tune. Day starts dancing under a sleeping moon. Newsprint smudges on fingers of grace. America's awakened at her own steady pace. Sips of sunshine in a coffee cup. Simple moments lifting spirits up. From the mountains to the sandy shore. Morning in America, want just a little more. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awakened with a heart full of shine. Old vinyl spinning a sweet old tune. Day starts dancing under a sleeping moon. Newsprint smudges on fingers of grace. America's awakened at her own steady pace. Sips of sunshine in a coffee cup. Simple moments lifting spirits up. From the mountains to the sandy shore. Morning in America, wanting just a little more. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awakened with a heart full of shine. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awakened with a heart full of shine. Tractors rumble, fields coming alive. Big wheels turning where hopes and dreams strive. Laughter echoes down the old dirt road. America's awakened to lighten her load. America's awakened to lighten her load.
Good morning, good morning. I hope you all are having a great morning. My computer is running a little bit slow. I hope it's not bothering you guys. Because hope it's not affecting. It was affecting me, but I'm hoping it's just on my end. Let's see who we have in here. We've got Jen, good morning. Lori, Tomazette, Texas Alien, Shanemesis, good morning. I'm a little bit early this morning. I was up early with a business call to the Middle East. So it went well. Went very well. It yeah, doing business. Okay, we got some people on Facebook. Good morning to those on Facebook. We got some people on X. Nice little spread. No one on Rumble yet, but I did push everything out there. So, well, actually, no. One person on Rumble. Thank you. Hey, Coop, if you want to jump in, you got the link. I've got nothing planned for today. I was just going to talk a little bit about. Hey, good morning, Jeanette. I was just going to talk a little bit about the last 24 hours. I was shocked there was no big updates with what the hails, because things have been going at like the cyclic rate, and there was no updates from any of the courthouses. I know a lot of people were expecting some. I kind of was, but nothing. But it's gonna come when it rains. It's gonna pour, guaranteed. We're gonna see a ton of stuff happening. The people were talking about the the side cases, the thumbnail and the trespassing. Like there's not a lot there. What will be there is getting people on the record. That's what'll be key with those. It was so stupid for them to go forward with those cases, to file those, because you know Bruce can be deposed. They're asking for sanctions, they're asking for all these things to occur. I know he was trying to say, oh, they're dismissed. No, you requested dismissal. You requested it. It has not been accepted. So sorry, dude. I am looking forward to the Coops over there on Rumble giving comments. Thank you, Coop. I do appreciate that. I've got AVA's playlist running in my background right now. I need to put up a Rumble. When I go off, I'll put up Freedom Flock. That's what I've been doing. I've been doing Freedom Flock, trying to help out TC over there on Rumble. You guys have been following a lot of people. I do appreciate that. A lot of people have been good to us. I'm trying to be good too. I've sent some people some merchandise. People who have promoted this show. I just really want them to know how much I do appreciate it. So I've sent them some merchandise and stuff. As you saw, Max Lab got his. Max Lab behind the scenes sends me stuff I don't even ask for. Like he will pull down the documents from the cases and he sends them out to a lot of people. And I appreciate it. I really do. I never ask for it. He's just that type of a guy. So sending him a t-shirt was a no-brainer. Daniel has promoted this channel. He's promoted Georgie's, which I actually appreciate that the most. The Huffs are currently on vacation, but they do have an Instagram account, and they did follow me back. So they are posting updates to their cruise. It's Forever Huffs Living on Instagram. If I can get that to... There we go. Forever Huffs Living. So if you're on Instagram, go give them a follow. And I'm noticing a lot of people, they're following the Veteran Nation account. I'm trying to send them all invites to the group, because now the Veteran Nation group is starting to, people are starting to post in there. For the longest time, it was like me and one other person really posting a lot of content. But I always go for the funny content whenever I can. So, but yeah, people are in there posting content, and I always post the show link in there. So I just know YouTube doesn't always send out the notifications. So when I do send it out to other places, I know people do get those notifications more likely, that way than others. Oh, here's Coop. Good morning, Coop.
Hello. How y'all doing?
Georgie had a members only stream yesterday, and I jumped into that for a little bit with her, and we got a little bit derailed.
I heard.
That was fun though. I'm so glad she's monetized now.
I am too.
Magic Angel says I pimp you out all the time. Yeah, but I'm talking about the show, Magic Angel.
Oh, fun fact. You don't have to be a moderator over on Rumble to post links.
Very nice.
I didn't even think about it. I'm not a mod on Rumble for you, and I just posted the Huffs. I'm like, well, hell, you can post links over there.
That's pretty cool. That's
until the people coming in with the nudie links start posting. But you got a pretty clean audience. I don't think you have anything to worry about.
I did on True Social. I did share out. A guy was talking. Apparently today is. Hold on. Let's see if I can find it. Today is Canine Veterans Day. Oh wait, no, it's March 13th, and I then posted this, which is in my store, and it's not all of the warriors walked on two legs. And I think that's just a nice shirt for people who, if you know someone who was a dog handler in the military, I think they would appreciate. I've bought that shirt for a couple friends who were dog handlers. One who was a dog handler in Vietnam, and yeah, got him that shirt. Good morning,
Nice.
Paul.
Who that?
Paul Voss jumped in the.
Oh, and I've been getting a kick out of Orphan Kitties live streams here lately.
Aren't they cute?
Yeah, you sit there and just chill out watching them cats. That would be perfect for Magic Angel and her petting zoo she's got.
Oh my god! Like, yeah, there's a girl. I can't remember her name, but I know a lot of you probably have seen her. She has an emu named Emmanuel, and she's always trying to do videos about her farm and everything. But the emu follows her around because he likes seeing himself on camera and he likes knocking over the camera. And she's gone viral for that. And I'm like, you know, for me and you know this, trying to build content can take so much effort. And the fact that something like that, you just set up a camera and your emu knocks it over and you go viral.
Right. I mean, Maggie, she could set her camera up just right there on the corner of her porch and cover all her little whole zoo there. Just hit live stream and walk in the house, just let it stream. I think it'd be cool.
You're getting a cam for the animals. That's smart. That is smart. Yeah, TC's in the chat. He does that with his chickens, and
Right.
people watch it. They find it very comforting. So definitely check out Freedom Flock today. I turn it on. I turn it on Rumble, and if TC ever says no, don't do it on YouTube, I'll switch. But Rumble automatically monetizes you.
It just takes forever.
Yeah.
I mean, building an audience over there is just woo.
So I do have a pretty big True Social account, and that's where I share my Rumble links, is out on True Social. And I've seen people from True Social find it and come in. The problem with True Social is it's an X clone, but people on there haven't figured it out that you have to be like on X. You have to have a conversation.
Right on. I need to start remembering to share my stuff over on Twitter. I mean, I've got a decent following over there. I got a little over 600 followers over there, I think, but I get to the point I forget about X even existing because I've never really paid much attention to it.
They've changed so many of the rules on X in the algorithm. I'm still learning it, like, because for a long time I stopped growing, and someone was like, "Oh, here's what you need to do," and I started doing what they said, and sure enough, I started growing again. I'm like, so frustrating. Once you learn it, and then they change it. But I'm at 4,500 followers. My goal there has always been 5,000, so I'm inching my way there.
I just wish they'd never went to a paid service over there.
Yeah, I get why they did.
Well, he's got to make his money back. I mean,
I think he's made his money back already. I think he has.
I don't know how many people they say actually left on Twitter nowadays. I know a lot of people left because they They took their cheating rights away from them, but
It's gotten better.
there's
It's
still a
gotten
lot of
better.
people there.
The people who say it's gotten worse, here's why they say it's gotten worse. You used to, if you could report someone, it was all the algorithm, but if I reported someone falsely, it would strike them. And that, like, it might still happen a little bit now, but if you appeal, you're going to win your appeal. I got a strike yesterday, and I just didn't want to go through the appeals process, so I just accepted it because they're not in the habit of deleting accounts anymore unless you're spam or like child uh, exploitation, stuff like that. So it has gotten better. The people can't manipulate the system anymore. So the people complaining and saying it's gotten worse were the ones 100% manipulating the system.
Right on, right on. The one thing I didn't like about Twitter is if you post an Instagram link, which that's what I mainly posted over there on Twitter was my Instagram stuff. It would never show the picture. It would just show the link. So they had to, whoever was on Twitter had to click the link to go see the picture.
So it will show the picture. It just takes time for Twitter to kind of be like, oh, okay, here's what the image is. And it does that also with YouTube links, which is frustrating because Twitter is a very time sensitive medium. So I totally get it.
Right. I mean, it's just like YouTube. Within the first so many hours of a video being uploaded or a live stream, that's where you get your main amount of views. If you don't get it within that time frame, every minute after, you're just losing time. You're losing views.
And the other thing is now with the algorithm, if you post an outside link, if you post a YouTube link, Twitter actually is going to punish your account for doing that. So that's why I've got Conspiracy Kitty's account on Twitter. So if I have outside links, I post them on his, and then I retweet them and say whatever I want to say. So the Veteran Nation account is not like Twitter looks at it as, oh, he's just retweeting somebody. So I do it that way.
Never thought about that.
Mhm.
That's a
So
pretty good idea.
yeah, and it's real easy to go back and forth between accounts. And I've told people, like I've told TC, if you want access, he's got access to the Restream account. And if he wanted to stream his show onto Twitter, he doesn't have to pay for a premium account. He doesn't need X amount of viewers. All he has to do is sign in on the Restream, and he can stream to our Twitter and to the Veteran Nation Twitter. I don't care one bit. Stream to Twitter all day long. You're giving, you're helping me boost the interactions on it. And if he, because he uses StreamYard, if he wanted the login information, I'd happily give it to him so that he could link it. But I've also told several people, hey, if you want to, like AVA, you want to do a live stream, but you want to do it to multiple, you can go into the Restream, because when you get a paid account, you can have two accounts. I've got my main one, and I do have an admin account, and that's what I gave Georgie access to. And I would happily give AVA the same access. So yeah, stream to Twitter. Use my audience to build yours. Stream to Twitter with a thing that says, come check us out on YouTube. By all means. Doesn't bother me one bit.
Speaking of TC, there's his link right there, boys and girls. Go check out the Freedom Flock.
The chickens are definitely awake and moving. I did have them up before I went live, but I put on this on Rumble so I could check how many people were there. We got 5 people there watching. Thank you.
Yeah, yesterday when we were streaming, I had about 8 people. Most of it was me and my mods over there. But hey, 8 people's 8 people.
Right?
That's one thing that not a lot of people give credit to are their mods. And man, we have got some of the best mods on our channels that are out there, I think.
This has really put us into contact with a lot of good people. So I'm very happy with how things are going.
Most definitely. Most definitely. Oh, that's Timothy's. I was just headed to that one next.
You're more organized with me than the links because you keep them all on your thing.
Right. That notepad, I hardly ever used it because it was always a generic uh, thing that you didn't have very many options with. But the fact that you don't have to save you can save your stuff, but the fact that you can just click on it and whatever you're working on the last time is right there. So as long as I don't mess anything up, I just go and copy and paste.
I didn't keep up with it, but I did take a coding class years ago when I was in college. I wish now I would have kept up with it, but you use Notepad so much in that. That's where you build everything is in Notepad.
All right. When I was into website building, I was using Notepad all the time to write HTML code. That was many years ago. Till I got in trouble. And when I got in trouble, I didn't play with that stuff no more.
I might get back into coding. I don't know. Like there's some things I could like I would like to if I did it, I'd like to learn how to build some apps.
Now, there are sites out there. Oh, I take that back. There might still be sites out there, but I do know at one time I had an app built for my Facebook business page, and everything that I had, I mean, you would go into that app and you could go to YouTube, you could go to Facebook, all my accounts. It was pretty cool. It was free too. You just went in and told it what you wanted it to do, and then it created the app. I don't know if that stuff that's still out there. That's been 10 years ago.
Max Lab, he was posting last night. I see people are talking about. Yeah, he was posting last night. So he's probably asleep.
I don't think that kid ever sleeps.
He gets very excited about some things.
Right on. Yeah, he does.
I appreciate his passion. I do.
Right. He's a good kid. That's the one thing about my Facebook I can't stand on my business page, where a lot of people message me there. Like, we communicate on Messenger a lot. Well, it tells me you guys hear the notification when I get a message on there. But over on my business page, it's not set up with sound. So I don't get messages. And a lot of times I forget to check it. It just sucks. Because then I miss a lot of stuff. Where's Georgia at anyway? She's up early today.
She's probably being productive.
I got up out of bed pretty early and I went and did my normal let chickens out, make coffee, let birds out, let dogs out. And when I was in the middle of making coffee, I'm like, what in the world is she doing up this early? I guess she said she'd been up since 4:30. Wow.
I was up early, but I had a business meeting. So for me, I was up at 4:15 my time. But yeah, I did see her things in our chat.
Past couple of days I've been getting up early. Usually when I wake up around 7:30, 8 o'clock, and then I'll just stay there for about another hour. Well, here lately, I just been saying, nope, just go ahead. You're wide awake. Let's get up. Because if you oversleep,
It's been cold, so I've been waking up because the animals like they get cold, so they're pressed up against me. In fact, Glory is like in between all the pillows in my blanket right now, all snuggled up. So that, yeah, like when they get pressed up against me, I do roll around a little bit, and when I can't, I'll wake up, and yeah, but I've been sleeping good.
Oh, hey guys, if you haven't taken a chance to check out Mr. Walters' GoFundMe, he's been diagnosed with stage 3 colon cancer. Doctors have said that he needs a scooter to get around and a ramp for his house. So, if you have a little bit of Big Mac money laying around and have a chance to donate, go ahead and donate for a good cause. If you don't have the money, that's fine. Share his link to all your
Share
social media sites. That helps just as much. Okay, my plug's done.
In some ways, that helps more because it gets it in front of more people.
Right.
TC, you're on farmer's hours. That doesn't count. You're a farmer now.
That's old Mac TC.
I used to go to a private high school, and some of the guys literally came from a town that was easy 45 minutes to an hour away. And I was like, doesn't it doesn't it suck having to, come in and do that long drive? And they were like, no, we're already up because, we own farms, so we have to get up, super early anyway, do all of our chores. And for the one guy, he was like, he goes, to and from school, I do all my homework. So I was like, okay, I guess that makes sense.
Right on, Sharon. My little Daisy, she's the same way. Mama's getting so pissed off at her. She'll get up on one of the shelves in the bathroom and pull her clothes off the shelf and put them on the floor and make her a little nest and cover up with them.
Nancy, we'll be praying for you and sending you good vibes. We're hoping that it's not.
Exactly.
Oh, they want to know about TC's possum problem. TC can always jump in here too. TC, you could jump in, give us updates. Definitely plug your stream.
Right on. That's one thing I don't wish on anybody is cancer. That's a lot of times the dang treatment is worse than the illness.
Mm-hmm. I really don't like how cancer's politicized too. That really bothers me.
Right. See, I've always been weed, THC. I think that is one of the best things for cancer patients when it comes to helping control the symptoms, the side effects.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I push for weed to be legal. I mean, it's God made. It's no chemicals added to it. It's made by nature. I'm sure if it was going to hurt somebody, it wouldn't grow. So there's just so many benefits. I know my dogs benefit tremendously for the hips and joint pain. The stuff that I give them every morning, if it wasn't for that HTC or whatever it is in that pill that I give my dog every morning, she would be already put down because she wouldn't be able to walk.
Mm-hmm.
There's just a lot of benefits to THC.
I know a lot of veterans who use a lot of different products. I'll be right back. I'm going to go get me some coffee.
Yeah, buddy. All right, boys and girls. The link I just posted is for Veteran Nations Facebook group. This is an absolute perfect way for people to rally to help individuals in their local area. Because, say, for instance, we have Mr. Timothy that's needing a ramp built on his house to get in and out. This was a perfect way for people to come together in the group and that are local to his area and be able to organize help for him. So if you don't mind, hit that link for Veteran Nation's Facebook group. That idea was brought up by Lilu yesterday. It's a very good idea. I think it can draw the local people together in one place to help. We just talking about your group.
Yeah, I was trying to remind myself to go in there, and people are really adding the Veteran Nation account as a friend, but I need to send them all. I need to send them all different things, or an invite.
The group is creating a Facebook group is, in my opinion, better than a business page or a personal page because it gives everybody the opportunity to interact together. Where on a business page or a personal page, you don't have that interaction except in comments.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
I mean, say for instance, Mr. Timothy there, I know Roy and some of the fellows were talking about getting together to build his ramp. Well, that would be a perfect place for all of them to come together on one post and organize this locally.
And Timothy is on Facebook. Okay, I did see some people joined and requesting to be able to participate.
Oh, wow, Melinda, you can keep that white stuff up there. I spent my 20 years in that stuff. Oh, I don't want no more of it. Maybe if I'm old and decrepit and I can't walk anymore, that would be cool. Because that's one thing I do love is getting up in the morning and looking out your window and you see all that, everything's just solid white and everything is so quiet. You don't hear birds. You don't hear anything. I better turn that off or it's going to annoy some of you people.
Annandale, Minnesota. I think I might have been there. I got married in Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. It's snowing outside here in Massachusetts. What part of Massachusetts? I've only been to. I flew into Boston, and I did go to Canton, and I have been to the Dunkin' Donuts / Baskin Robbins headquarters there, right outside of Canton, Massachusetts. That would be a little bit cold for them. I can't believe they would want to go outside.
Yeah, Mama Coop. She got me my first beagle when we lived in Missouri. And he was such a little tiny dude. And I can remember the first time putting him out in the snow, boy. He did not like that. No, no, no.
Did you see 2 awesome dogs is now 3 awesome dogs?
Yeah. I kind of picked up on it. I thought it was him. And then Georgie said, that's not him. That's not him. And then he come back and he says, yeah, it is. I'm getting a new dog.
Is the new puppy. He's got cute little dog, and he's taking name suggestions. And I suggested the name the Prophet Muhammad.
There you go. There you
He
go.
goes, I'm in Michigan. I can't do that. I'm like, yeah, they don't like dogs. Oh, you got that lake effect snow. Awesome dogs. Yep, Michigan gets lake effect snow. I was reading some stuff about Michigan. Michael Rogers, I think, is going to run for Michigan Senate, and I've actually met him. I met him back in 2007 when he was a congressman, and they're saying that Pete Buttigieg, who's now moved to Michigan, is going to be running against him. I had two
Wow.
beagles. Beagles are great. They're nosy, but they're great.
Right there. The one she got me he was a runt for one, and he come to find out he was rare. He was red and white instead of the typical
Tricolor.
black, brown, and white, the
Mhm.
tricolor. He was red and white, and he had a red nose. He didn't have a black nose like a regular beagle. And the owner, when he sold him to us, didn't realize it because he was so small at the time. He figured, oh, he'll just grow out of it. Well, about a year later, we saw him uptown, and he had Petey with us, and he saw Petey. And he's like, "Oh my God, is that the dog you guys got from us?" And Barb said, "Yeah." He says, "If I would have known he turned out like that, you wouldn't have got him because he was that rare." But
I
then,
had one that was purebred and one that was mixed with a little bit of Jack Russell. Oh my God, that one was so smart. But you don't want blinds if you have beagles. They will tear up those blinds trying to look outside.
oh yeah, when they're babies, they will. Phew, the first year is pure hell. They'll eat any shoe they find. They'll eat anything they can get their mouth on. But
Mine
they're
weren't
so
that,
cute, you can't get mad at them.
mine weren't that type of chewers, but I did have one that she just was a cuddler, loved kids. Um, but the other one that I had, oh, he was smart and he was sneaky, and he had no fear. I had a neighbor who had two purebred German shepherds, and he'd go like we had a hole in our fence. He'd be over in their yard, and those German shepherds would follow him.
Wow. I know one of the kids were putting Petey out on his runner one day, snow everywhere, and he got away from them. It took us 2 hours to hunt that dog down and get him caught because we could see him. He just would not come to us because he was still, fairly young. So it was quite the ordeal. Because if anybody knows a beagle, once they get their nose on a scent, they're concentrating on that scent. They're not listening to anything around them.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They're very focused. We get a lot of people who get huskies and they bring them out here to the desert, and I'm like I would love to have a Newfie, but this is not an area conducive to a dog like that. And all these people get their huskies and they bring them out to the desert, and it's like that dog's not going to be happy here. And
Right.
I had a friend of mine who had to temporarily live here with me, and oh, that dog loved me. And if I came home late from work, he would let me know. But then my buddy got orders up to uh, Bridgeport, and Bridgeport's up in the mountains, and that's where they do cold weather training. And he took that husky, and that husky loved it. He showed me a video. There was this. He lived in this valley, and it was probably a mile away was another house. And he goes, "This is our routine every day." And he opens the door, and that husky runs out and is bolting for this house way across the valley. And about like 20 seconds into the video, I can see there's a husky coming from the other house. And these two dogs would meet halfway and start rolling around, and they would play. And he goes, they're literally like kids. He goes, when the lights come on, I call for the dog's name was Odin, and he comes back. He's all wore out after playing with his friends.
Right on. Right on. I agree with you. Being in Florida, there's just certain animals that should not be in hot climates. And
Yeah.
huskies, chows, they shouldn't. I mean,
Yeah.
if you bring them to a climate like this, they're basically a shut in during the summertime and most of the wintertime because it's too hot outside for them. So how can they be a dog? How can they have fun?
We were talking, my parents, we had a lab, and we put in a pool. And oh my God, that lab, like we would just be sitting there, and you'd hear a and you'd be like, is someone in the pool? And you'd look out, and here's the dog. he would do laps around the pool, just loved it, and then get out and lay in the sun. And that he would do that all day. That would be his routine.
That's one thing I hate about Facebook. They kept my page that I built, took 10 years to build. And I had so many photos on that page of all my dogs from Missouri. I lost all of them.
That's
Petey, I had a cooler, one of those coolers that float in the pool.
Mhm.
And he was so small that he would sit in that cooler and it had a little umbrella on it. And he would just float in that cooler with me in the pool with him the whole time.
My parents had a guy who lived up the street, and he had a little beagle that loved my parents' dogs. So he'd come down and play, and but he started having health problems, and the dog started having health problems at about the same time. And he was worried about if something happened to him, what would happen to the dog. And my mom finally was like, "Look, you don't need to worry about that dog. If something happens to you, we'll take him in." So he kind of relaxed a little bit, but one day the dog passed away at his feet, and was only a couple days later that man, he had a heart attack and died. I think they were just holding on to each other.
You hear a lot of those stories about, the owners passing away and then the dogs finding their grave or being taken to their grave. And it's funny how an animal will sense that
Mhm.
that's their owner in that grave. It's just, because I mean, they're buried pretty deep. So how's this dog know that that's where their owner's at?
Mhm. Um, Me and Yoda, we were talking about that. Uncle Frank's dog just was sitting staring at his empty chair. Have a good one, TC.
Yeah, buddy. Oh, hey, everybody in the chat, please take a moment, make sure that you have liked this stream and share it to all your social media sites. Helps old Michael grow over there. Yeah, buddy. I do like the cats. Okay, I'm allergic to them, allergic as hell, but I do like the cats because they're so easy to take care of. As long as they have food and a litter box and water, they're happy. But the cat we had when we got it, somebody had her declawed, so she couldn't hurt the birds. And I'm
Okay.
scared to death to get another cat that's got claws because I just got a feeling they will go after my parrots in a heartbeat.
They normally will, unless they've been raised with them.
Right.
But that's smart. Like as long as it's going to be an indoor cat, yeah, you can declaw so then it can't hurt the birds.
She had her back claws. She just didn't have her front claws, which was, it had to have been somebody's house cat, and he got loose.
Back claws for climbing.
Do what now?
The cats, they use their back claws only for climbing, not for hunting.
Well, I have no idea. But anyway, Tickles is so possessive of me. If I just reach down and pet one of the dogs, she's running. She's gonna attack. No, you don't touch my dad. You leave my dad alone. I can just imagine what it would be like if I had a cat. If she went after a cat, the cat would go after her.
It's funny, these animals, they will establish their own hierarchy.
But they're so self-reliant. They're not like dogs and stuff. They don't require as much care. I mean,
I've considered getting an outside cat for hair, and a lot of people I've had people be like, "Oh, it's the desert." I've talked to some people who said, "Look, you've got trees on your property. That cat, the coyotes ain't going to get that cat." But I do know I've been told do not get a white cat out here because of like owls and stuff like that that will prey on them.
Oh wow. I didn't realize that. Speaking of white cat, that one orphan kitty has over on her channel that's solid white and just got the little bit of brown on its ears and its back by its tail. That is a gorgeous cat. I've never seen one with markings like that. Then she's got the one that looks just like yours, except it's brown instead of gray.
AVA, how you doing with your watch time? It should be going up. It should be going up. I've, I've been having all your videos playing.
Oh, I did get a chance to go on with Daniel yesterday.
Nice.
I know there's sometimes that Georgie and I will be live with an emergency session of court documents or something, and he'll be on when we get ready to get off. We never can redirect to him because he didn't have it set to where he could allow it. So I helped him set that last night. It's just amazing how these third-party stream applications work with Restream and StreamYard, where you can literally teach somebody right on the computer, showing them step by step what they need to do instead of spending hours trying to teach them through text. I'm just really happy with that. Why do I have? Dang it! I did it again. That's one thing about my notepad. I copy and paste a lot. So if I hit the wrong button when I'm going to copy, if I hit paste, I'm destroying the link that I'm looking for. And whatever the last link was, that's what's getting pasted. So for about the 5th time now, I have destroyed Mama Coop's link. So I got to go and try and find all her crap and fix it.
What do you want? Yeah, you want to be a part of the show? Oh, now the dog's got to come over. Like, Cat's talking to me, so now the dog's. I'm here. I know you're here. I love you.
So did AVA ever answer? Is his watch hours getting up there?
They're going up. They're going up. So we got to be getting pretty close. I'm thinking to getting him what's it, monetized. We got to get him in on more of our lives. That's what's going to take to get him monetized.
Right on.
ABA, make sure you send me today, if you can, what days and times are good. Because if I can't bring you on, I know Georgie has said she wants to do some lives with you. You want a pet stream? I do have cameras on the outside of my house, and I do have a feeding cam of my cat. Maybe I can hook that up.
If we didn't free range our chickens, I thought about doing the same thing as TC, but the minute I open that coop of a morning, they're gone. They're out in the yard the rest of the day.
How does Daisy get along with the chickens?
Oh, the dogs get along with them just fine. Nobody messes with anybody.
That's good.
I thought that the rooster and her would have a problem, but they avoid each other. I mean, I'm amazed. I'm just amazed, especially with the kind of dog that Daisy is. She's the type of dog, if she ever gets that taste in her mouth, it's going to be over. Any chance she gets, she'll go after them.
So AVA, his lives are 600 out of 3K. So yeah, we need to start getting you in on a lot more lives, because lives boost that big time. Same thing. If you can do a live with Tav, because and have Tav on your channel and then promote it on his, because he's got a much bigger following than even I do. He's got 40,000 people. So like just a couple, like 200 in there will really boost your live numbers.
That's the one thing that when you pair with another channel, each channel's getting their own watch time, their own views, but it'll draw people to him to where it puts his channel out there.
Same thing. He knows a couple people who do airsoft. He does some lives about airsoft with them. That'll also boost up his channel.
Right. I mean, I'm pretty sure if he's into airsoft, he's watching a lot of airsoft on YouTube. And he needs to be talking to them guys. And like I was telling Daniel last night, I said, get one of them, just bring one of them on your channel and interview them. Just sit down and interview them. That way it's getting their audience is coming to you and your audience is going to them.
Doesn't have to be formal. I've had people, I'm like, do you want me to do an interview or do you just want to come on the show? In fact, I was talking with a gentleman yesterday who wants to come on the show. And he's written a couple books. He's a veteran. He's written some books. So I might just have him on just for something like this. Or I was talking to him about him being interviewed by me and TC.
I was trying to tell Daniel last night, he's been after me trying to set up a time where we could sit down and talk about trying to come up with different ideas for his channel. Well, I'm so scatterbrained, I'm all over the place. So I usually forget. And last night I'm like, yeah, there he is. He throwing his link in his chat. So I'll just sneak in on his ass, And
I try to remind myself that like when you guys go live, like I'll take your link and put it out on Twitter and put it out in the Facebook group. I try to remind myself to do stuff like that, but I forget. And that's any of you fans that are in there, you want to retweet, you want me to share your stuff, just DM me. I'll push it out. I'm happy to.
Well, you get wrapped up in what you got going on at the moment, and it's easy to forget. I mean, I've just started getting in the habit. I never posted links when we were live, and I've just gotten in the habit now to where now I'm just posting them all the time, no matter where I'm at, trying to make sure and get the word out. But when you're not streaming, it's hard to remember that stuff when you got so many other things on your mind.
Yep.
Oh, and by the way, what about your Gundahar stuff, your overseas stuff you've been talking about?
Yeah, we're looking at possibly a business trip, possibly to Qatar. I was on the phone with, or it was a conference call today with a company in Kuwait. The American military is doing a lot of things in the Middle East, a lot of things that people just don't know about. And that comes with it, with some federal contracts. So that's why I'm talking, like, we're now also talking with places in the Ukraine because we're expecting that war to end here very shortly. And what's going to happen after that? Rebuilding. And the U.S. is going to be very involved.
That's now, if you land that contract, are you going to be moving over there for a while, or are you just going to be managing it?
We're actually in that discussion. I can't move there permanently. I've got my kid. He's in high school. So I've got a couple years before I could move there. But I have suggested a thing where maybe I go there for a month or two, come back, and do something like that. There's a couple of us involved in the business where we could easily rotate people, so we always have a presence there, but it's not too burdensome. But like I've talked to a couple people who, financially, I'm like, look, you want to do these things. If you were to move over there, if you spend 300 days overseas, you do not pay U.S. taxes.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So like there's a couple people I know who are getting ready to retire, and I'm like, look, let's write this into the contract where you become a part of the contract. Literally, the contract pays for your position, which will be a temporary position for 1 year. And you know, if especially if you're looking at retirement and maybe you didn't save enough, you could go over to something like that and put all that money in, a whole bunch of money into your IRA. You're not getting taxed on it. And when you pull traditional IRA money out, you don't get taxed on it then. Roth, or I'm sorry, you put it into a Roth, you get taxed on it when you put it in. You don't get it when you take it out. So it's a Roth that if you pump up your Roth while you're overseas, you'll never pay taxes on that money.
Wow. I do know that this new no tax on overtime and tips are really going to hurt the American people, because the tax money that you would normally pay in, now the owner of the business has to pay in. So you're going to see a lot of people that live off their overtime start having their overtime taken away because of it.
See, I see it differently. I see because right now, with a lot of companies, they get to, especially with like in a lot of areas where they're upping the minimum wage. Okay. When they up the minimum wage, it becomes, okay, do I give people overtime or do I hire more employees? And when you up the minimum wage, it becomes, okay, we're going to give them more overtime. Now that overtime will not be taxed for those businesses, it's a much bigger incentive to give that overtime. So
No, it's the other way around, Mike. The business literally has to pay the taxes on the overtime, not the employee making the money now.
no.
See, this is what I'm going through right now with Mama. Her wages depend on overtime to draw her salary. They've
Mhm.
taken her overtime completely away, because instead of her paying the taxes on her overtime, the company is now responsible for paying the taxes. Yes, that's the reason they gave it to her.
No, I'm telling you, like we haven't seen the plan, but it's not going to shift the burden onto companies. It'll just be the government just won't take taxes for that time.
I hope you're right, but I know she's going through a pretty miserable time at work right now, because they basically took every bit of her overtime that she was promised and guaranteed by the owner of the company. They
Mhm.
took it away. Her check is half of what it normally is. And
Mhm.
she's been working for this company for over 10 years. Well, 10 years next month. And 8 years of it, she's been working 60 plus hours a week. So her all of her finances are been geared around what she makes. Well, her finances, her bills and stuff are still there. And now they've taken and cutting her pay completely in half, because they say the reason they're doing that is because they're going to have to pay the taxes on her overtime instead of her paying them.
Oh, see, I don't see any of that happening because of what's happening across the board. Is with a lot of this fraud and abuse being rooted out, they're already they found $1 trillion already. So that's going to significantly reduce payroll taxes.
Because
Significantly.
we're
Um,
literally looking at getting a lawyer, because the plain simple fact is, when she came off of the truck as a driver,
mhm.
the guarantee, the promise that was made is, when she went into the office, she would not lose pay from what she was making on the truck. So she was guaranteed 55 grand a year, no matter what.
Mhm.
Well, she goes into the office. The guarantee was made. The last 8 years, she's been working it. She's been making in between 65 and 70 a year. And now that they've got a new president, he's got all this shit on paper saying it looks good, but in reality, it doesn't.
See,
And
in California, because they raised the minimum wage, the people who are exempt from that is contract employees. And with a contract employee, and this is where a lot of the shift has been. A lot of companies that were just hiring employees are now just we'll contract it out, because now they don't have to pay the payroll taxes. And when you're under contract, you're essential, unless it's written in your contract, you're 24/7. They can make you work as much as possible because you have to fulfill the lines of that contract. And I've worked several of those contracts, and I've gotten the calls at 11 at night and then turn around at 3 in the morning and gotten more calls.
So you're basically on a salary and you're just on call 24/7.
Correct. So that's where states like California, with all these shell games of the taxes, where they've done that. Well, that's what the administration is trying to undo. They're trying to take away this gig at will employment and get us back to people like sitting in a chair at your work doing the job, instead of this, fly by night stuff that's been happening. So I see it as like, we don't have the plan yet. Some of these companies, I think they're jumping the gun because no one knows what the plan is going to look like. But I don't see that plan as shifting the tax burden onto the companies at all. I don't see that happening.
To answer Nancy, no, she does not have a contract, but we can show in court the agreement was made, because if the agreement wasn't made, why did they allow it for 8 years?
Yeah.
Okay. So we can show proof that, yes, the agreement was made between her and the owner of the company. And if it wasn't, she wouldn't have been allowed to work it. But anyway, this new freaking president they got, it's only been in there for a year. He's one of those bookwork presidents. See, that's the reason she loves this company so much, is the owner of it was an actual driver, was an actual truck driver. Mm-hmm. He created the company, and Barb is a driver. There's very few employees in the office atmosphere of this company that actually have driving experience. It's like most companies, the people at the top have no idea what it's like to do the job at the bottom. Mm-hmm. And Barb, she literally broke down in tears last night when she saw her paycheck. I told her, I said, well, you've had a week to get used to it. You knew it was coming, but we got to figure out something. So I think what we're going to do is we're just going to cash out her 401k. We're going to pay the house off, and I'm going to tell them go get screwed. And I was telling Georgie about it. Her job, if she walked out of there right now, do you realize how screwed that company would be? Because, see, she's in the logistics. Her job, if she doesn't perform her job, the wheels on those trucks don't move.
Yep.
And if she walks out of there with all of her passwords and she shuts down all her systems, it's going to take them a week to get everything back up and running, because the job she's in, you have to be legally cleared from TJ Maxx to be able to run their system.
Here's what I would say. Talk with a labor attorney before you make any moves, because if she were to quit, she might be undoing any potential litigation that you might have.
Right. We would ultimately talk to a lawyer first before anything was decided.
Yeah.
I knew my situation when I retired was getting into a legal arena, and the lawyer, he was pretty nice. And he told me, he says, well, you can't get them on this, but we can get you at least a year's salary. Because I was looking at it as discrimination, what they did to me. Mm-hmm. And
yeah, I would, because you get, people make the assumption that just because someone's in charge, they know what they're doing. And I can't tell you how many times I've worked jobs where people have done straight up illegal things and just said, oh, I'm doing this. And I worked a job and we were like, you can't do that. And he was like, well, I'm going to do it anyway. And it was like, you do realize you're in front of like 12 people telling you can't do that. And all it takes is one person to anonymously report you. Which one are you going to, or which one is going to be the one to do it? Like, that is not smart at all.
Now, see, Sharon here, she can identify with, my profession because she's done the same thing. She was a meat cutter as well.
Mhm.
And I remember, see, all the laws and all the crap that you see in big business nowadays. I remember when all this garbage first started coming into play. Because when I was coming up in the meat industry, the meat departments were the king of the grocery store. Nobody messed with the meat departments. We were the ones that did our own thing. It was like we were our own little company within a company. No, because nobody could do our job. You had to be trained. So managers from the front of the store didn't mess with the managers and the employees in the back of the store. It just didn't happen. Well, now since time has gone by, now the roles have switched where the managers in the front of the store had taken control of the back of the store.
Mhm.
Well, you come into my department telling me what to do, you better know how to do my job. Because if you don't, I'm leaving and you can figure out how to do it.
Mhm.
And I had one boss here at Sweet Bay, which used to be the old Winn-Dixie. Or no, not Winn-Dixie, Cash and Carry here in Florida. He come in raising Cane, the manager from the front of the store. And I just put my knife on the table and said, here, show me what you want me to do. I'll be more than happy to do anything you want me to do. Just show me. He got so mad, he just turned around and walked out because obviously he has no idea how to do my job. And that's where I can't stand seeing corporations telling people how to do their job when they don't even know how to do it themselves.
Yeah, the corporatization of a lot of these industries has just ruined these industries. I've seen that firsthand. The big one I point to is radio. Look at radio. All the channels today suck because they've all been bought up by two corporations and they're all formulaic. Like, there's no good DJs anymore. If you're going into radio, you might as well just go work in a cubicle somewhere. I am
Right.
looking at the time, and I'm gonna have to wrap things up. Coop, you guys are going live at 8, correct?
Well, yeah, 11 Eastern Standard Time, my time. Yeah.
Yeah, 8 o'clock my time. Sorry.
Yeah.
Um,
Oops. Hey, gotta go. There's Mama.
Okay.
Thank you, guys.
I am going to redirect everyone. Let's see. Who should I redirect to? You guys have any? You know what? I see Mo in the deep end. Let's redirect to her. That's what I'm thinking. We'll redirect to her. It's been a while since I've shown her some love. One there. Customization. There we go. So she'll be live until. Make sure you let her know it's a. Let her know that it's a Veteran Nation raid. I'm not. Maybe I can't. Oh, I don't. She doesn't have it turned on, so I can't redirect to her. Oh wait, no, I can. Okay, there we go. I've got it all set up. She's streaming live, so I'm gonna go ahead and end this. Go let Mo know that we're raiding her, and thank you guys all for being here. It was a good conversation today. I make sure you go to AVA's channel, check out some of his videos so we can boost his watch time, get him monetized, and also go to Forever Huff's Living on Instagram. Let's boost up all of his following there. So thank you, folks. I appreciate you all for being here, and as always, thank you for being worth serving.
Coffee brewing as the sun peeks through the haze. Birds are chirping, serenading morning's praise. Front porch creaks as dreams fade away. America's awakened to a brand new day. Old vinyl spinning a sweet old tune. Day starts dancing under a sleepy moon. Loose print smudges on fingers of grace. America's awaking at her own steady pace. Sips of sunshine in a coffee cup. Simple moments lifting spirits up. From the mountains to the sandy shore. Morning in America, want just a little more. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awaking with a heart full of shine. Old vinyl spinning a sweet old tune. Day starts dancing under a sleepy moon. Newsprint smudges on fingers of grace. America's awaking at her own steady pace. Sips of sunshine in a coffee cup. Simple moments lifting spirits up. From the mountains to the sandy shore. Morning in America, want just a little more. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awaking with a heart full of shine. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awaking with a heart full of shine. Tractors rumble, fields coming alive. Big wheels turning where hopes and dreams strive. Laughter echoes down the old dirt road. America's awaking to lighten her load. America's awaking to lighten her load.